Good morning. It is 6:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here on the East Coast, I'm your host for the Get It Back in Blood podcast, Miss Kosh Taylor, a.k.a. Miss Motherfucking Go. As you all know, you as an individual is comprised of at least 4 different family names as an individual. Let me explain how. When you do your tree, you know, your lineage tree and all that stuff, you start with yourself. You say, who are my parents? Okay, your mom's on one side, your dad's on another side. Everybody walking this planet Earth has a mom's side and a dad's side, including your parents. Okay, so your parents' last name? Let's talk about those that are not married and those that are married. I could provide a chart for you on that. For those of you who were born to single parents, your mother probably kept her last name and your dad has a last name as well. Okay, that's how that starts out. Your mother has 2 parents. Each has a maiden name. Every woman that's been married has a maiden name. Yeah, usually, I notice that women are not really putting hyphens in their married name no more. I noticed that shit too, though. All right. So your mom's, let's say for instance, your last name is Smith. Your dad's last name is Smith, and your mom's last name is Smith because you're married. But your mom's maiden name is try not to use all the names involved, you know. Let's say a Green or something. Green. Let's try that. So you have a Smith side of the family, and you're also related to people on the Green side of the family, even though your mom's last name is Smith, hyphenated Smith, because she's married to your dad. All right. So your mother's name would be Kathy Green Smith. It's usually hyphenated when they're married. You know, a dash in between the last names, you know, that we can tell that that's a married woman. Okay. Then your mother has 2 parents. Their name's Green, but her mother's maiden name is Salter or something. So the Salter woman married the Greens, so it's Salter Green. So you're related to the Smiths, the Greens, and the Salters. Your dad's mom's maiden name is Greer, and so you're related to the Smiths, the Greers, the Salters, and yeah, you're related to all those people. Through just your parents. That's you, correct? All right. Family dynamics works that way. With the reign of terror that the Malone and the Williams and the Blair families had placed on the United States of America, I bet you can find correlations. So that is how family dynamics go, right? So when I tell you that I'm a Grant Taylor, and I tell you that my grandfather was the Taylor, my grandmother was the Grant. But my grandmother was married. So she is the original Grant Taylor. So on her Grant side, her mother's maiden name was Evans. Okay, my grandmother, the Grant Taylor, her mother's maiden name was Evans, Evans. Baby, it ain't looking good. No type of way around this motherfucker. You bother my motherfucking kids around this bitch. My brothers, my uncles, no, none of that. Excuse me. On my grandfather's side, on her husband's side, he's a Taylor, Gonzalez, shit like that. I told you when you came to the Gonzalez place to fight me, as a little girl, between the ages of 0 to 11 years old, is when Natalie and Carlisa and her people came down here to South Carolina. I told you that they had lost Susan Smith's children in that waking hour, in that time period that I'm referring to. I am the same age as this woman's oldest child that drowned in that car with his little brother. They came here before. That's how I know the people that I'm mentioning or saying anything the fuck to. Carlisa's trying to pretend like she ain't from these country places and towns. But I see Tokyo Toni has definitely been here. I may not like Tokyo Toni. She may be the biggest slob bitch ever. But I can respect certain things about Tokyo Toni that I can never respect about Carlisa. Especially with Jonathan being a porter, and all of a sudden she doesn't like porters. And King is also here. King Porter has been here. This stuff has been reported. But see, the CIA, the Central, if the bitch don't sit the fuck down up there at the motherfucking White House in my face doing this, bitch. Get that bitch Kamala out my face doing this shit, bitch. Why is she doing it? Because that's when I met Kamala. I told you I was with the NAACP as a little kid. We experienced a lot of abuse and a lot of attacks throughout these decades, bitch. Kamala sat in front of me as a little girl, and she said, well, what do you want to do? And certain things were said to me, certain instructions were given to me, and for her to sit up there and act like she don't know me or don't give a fuck, and the way had not been properly paved, and she's out there rooting on and supporting the Malone family, the Blair family, and the Williams families in their reign of terror against children of the United States, period, at all. Because you got some of them bougie niggas in their family, the way they only deal with white motherfuckers, bitch. So that's why this child's civil rights movement is not about race and color. You mad because I won't make this about race or color? Are you mad because I won't give you any kind of props for the shit that you did fucked up? You can't do nothing fucked up and then tell me you doing something to serve the community and get my motherfucking respect. Integrity is being consistently a humanitarian. Consistently. Not you doing that type of shit. We can deal with you having like a little porn addiction or something like that. I'm just going to put you in to see if you can locate these people, selling child porn or something like that. I can't use no motherfucker that abuses children, rapes on children, and extorts families and shit. I can't do that shit. Kidnap people, kids and shit. I can't use those type of bitches in my child civil rights movement, bitch. I have told you this several motherfucking times, bitch. Your job does not make you more qualified for what the fuck I was assigned to do, bitch. My sons are Evans. Some of the little boys that were there, and if you will find a pattern from the Gonzalez place. I call it the Gonzalez place. That you thought was the projects, but it was family set up for a place set up for family, and even military people stayed there to save money. Told you we were down the street from Fort Jackson military base. I blatantly told you these things. You know what I mean? We knew Williams, but Williams were never really close to us. So Elise Evans Grant, my great grandmother, was a teacher during the Brown versus Board of Education. We have always been doing something in our motherfucking communities and with our children for the national advancement of our motherfucking children is what the fuck this family has done. You can't tell me shit about a Malone or Williams or a motherfucking Blair that has done anything beneficial to help any children around these United States. Then you want to turn around and you want to bring Marie Woolfolk Taylor's name to a disrespectful demise in the national Greek organizations around here, the National Penhaled Council and shit. Because she was a social worker working in Atlanta, Georgia during her career. Atlanta, Georgia is only 4 hours away from where I reside in South Carolina. It is not that far away for me to not just get in my car and drive there when I'm in the mood. Charlotte, North Carolina is only about an hour 30 minutes away. So is Charleston, South Carolina. Tennessee is probably about four hours away. I drove to Virginia. That's about 8 hours. So I know that if I can get to these places, that shit could be all twisted up and intertwined. But we're going to get more in depth, and I'm going to break down the Atlanta child murders and the correlations between this situation that we're dealing with in the USA, that you're trying to say that Sean Diddy Combs and other people in the industry are directly linked to, and you're trying to take all the motherfucking responsibility off the Williams family, the Malone family, and the Blair family, who are tightly tied together in this situation over these airwaves, stalking, harassing, kidnapping, and murdering innocent people and children. I do not feel sorry for Caleb Williams, nor concerned I don't feel any concern, because they asked you who you had, bitch. And I didn't throw anybody at any motherfucking body. If I was going to do that, bitch, I'm going to throw President Zachary Taylor and President Ulysses S. Grant every motherfucking time, bitch. From the Jefferson Plantation, I am Evans, I am Grant, I am Taylor. Okay? I am a woman of substance, a woman of pride, a woman who's able to put petty differences aside and shit my motherfucking self, bitch. I'm going to delve into this because I don't like no sad shit being the main focus of the African American community when we could nip that shit in the bud, bitch. When we can straight handle that shit and get them motherfuckers the fuck out my motherfucking lifespan, bitch. I'm your host, Miss Kosh Taylor, a.k.a. Miss Motherfucking Go for the Get It Back in Blood podcast. I'll be back with more on the Atlanta child murders.